I'm also, and as I said, I'm very proud of myself for seeing more movies than I thought. I didn't see fucking shit this past year.
Well, let's talk about it. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 4th annual Top 10 Movies of the Previous Year podcast, hosted by Hak Media. Check our stuff out. We're on all social platforms. Hit that subscribe. Smash it.
Yeah.
Pulverize it until it's dead.
Not to go down.
And then revive it, and then
yeah, you made me think of it with the word smash. I never had a smash burger. Have you guys ever had smash burgers in your life?
I think I have.
Is there any difference? Are they good? Are they better than a regular hamburger?
No, they're not.
Okay.
It's just marketing.
Yes, it is just marketing. They're really not even like all that.
I feel
hot take.
Yeah.
I'm not even a big fan of In-N-Out.
In-N-Out is trash.
I feel like it's like
In-N-Out is the absolute worst fast food burger. I don't know how there's a line outside of the place, down the street.
I almost thought you were going to defend it.
I've definitely had worse hamburgers.
No, you haven't.
Bad.
There's this place
but it's just way overhyped.
I don't even get excited to go in there and get those burgers.
Los Angeles and America. There's this place called By the Way Burger. That was the most sad, tragic fast food. Well, even in the name,
to me.
By the way, even their names, like By the Way, it's like they're not even good enough to be the main.
They all sound the same.
It's just fucking
By the Way,
trash, man.
Smash, trash burger.
Fat burger goes crazy.
Fat burger.
I've actually Fat Burger is pretty good.
Burger.
I feel like I've had.
Who else? What's the other one?
The
Habit goes crazy.
Five Guys.
Five Guys going crazy.
All right, let's reel it back in.
I feel like that got us warmed up though.
Oh, no,
that was like a nice little pre-show
Top
here.
10 burgers.
Is there any like
I'm gonna have
audience
fun with
applause
this,
that we can put in there? Yeah.
Top 10 burgers in LA.
Okay, that's my transition point. We're gonna have some fun.
Yeah.
Ready? It might get a little loopy. What did you feel about last year in movies compared to previous years?
I felt empowered by the fact that I
That's a
didn't
good word.
have to buy
Let's use more
A-list, but I was able to use the fucking Taco Tuesday deal that they have, where it's $7 for a single ticket. So that means that, like, for the same, I could see 4 movies in a month and pay the same amount of money that I would for an A-list subscription, and not have to feel the pressure to go see a movie. Like when I had A-list,
game the system.
I don't know how many fucking movies I saw last year, but it was a fuck ton. Between I would be surprised if it was less than like 50. You know what I mean?
That's a decent amount.
Because you feel like it's like
average.
Like honestly,
almost like a movie a week.
It was like literally like damn. Like I gotta use this fucking subscription. It's a lot of pressure.
Whatever way AMC helps us see movies at a discounted cost. But actually, it's not because, we end up buying concessions and...
I don't buy
Well, you know what? That segues into mine.
Are people not sneaking food
I'm
into
grateful
theaters?
that I could go into that little A-list line when I'm getting concessions and just be done with it.
Isn't it crazy how sometimes the A-list line is longer than the regular line?
Honestly,
it still moves faster.
How,
it still moves faster. That's it'll be 2 people at the regular line, and they prioritize that A-list line, and I just get the stuff.
Sometimes they alternate, which doesn't make any sense because we're paying priority, but they alternate between the regular line.
I had no
line.
issues with A-list.
Anyway.
Honestly, or I know to not get in that list or that line if there's too many. You know what I mean? Like I have access.
Some dots are connecting that, like, because I always bring my own snacks, and I realized I only ever bought snacks when I'm with you guys. And like, yeah, some nachos would be good.
Shout out to rewards program where you get rewards
Does
for.
Cinemark have a thing?
You know what's
like
funny? Back when you didn't have A-list and I was buying your ticket, all the rewards that I was paying for was going to me. So thank you. I appreciate that. Because when you get your own A-list subscription, it does not count as like an added cost to go to your rewards.
Cool.
Like,
well, aren't you lucky? You're welcome. You're welcome.
I was getting
so what's your 10th
popcorn.
least favorite or 10th most favorite concession?
Anyway.
Yeah. I'd say.
I thought the year in movies was pretty good. It was very backloaded. I feel like there weren't a lot of movies at the early part of the year.
This is Night Swim Erasure. I'm not going to stand for that. So,
What is Night Swim?
Never even heard of that.
No, Night Swim was the movie about the killer swimming pool that came out last January. It was fucking...
That sounds amazing.
Hilarious. And it could have been like scary too. They just couldn't decide if they wanted to be scary or stupid. and they were just kind of. I mean, they were. It was.
It was stupid. Yeah,
it was definitely stupid.
You don't know that answer to that.
It was
question.
both comedy gold and also like kind of like freaky at some.
That's
points.
what happened to the substance. I feel like it fell into that zone right there.
It's on my.
I know none of us ever got like the popcorn buckets, but I just had a weird side tangent
about
at
Dune?
the Dune one,
like the.
And apparently there's a Wicked one.
Because I know they made Hugh Jackman's head with his
Violin.
mouth open, being the Deadpool Wolverine one, right?
I don't know. I just remember the Dune was supposed to look like some type
Lantern,
of
popcorn lantern. Anyway,
It was like the Dune was like the
Some type of jet
the big one
yeah.
was obviously the Dune one because it looked like a fucking fleshlight.
Yeah, like the scary like alien play flashlight.
So that was interesting because they have to make money.
Anyone who wanted to
because-
fuck the Sarlacc pit from Star Wars was like, now's my time.
There you go. Maybe
a lot
it's
of
trend.
childhood
It's trend.
Yeah.
wow.
People loved it.
A lot of people weren't thinking that.
A lot of people absolutely were thinking that.
Yeah.
Put in the comments if you were thinking that you wanted to fuck the Sarlacc back, in the Return of the Jedi. Comment down below.
Dune people knew. They
Yeah.
they knew.
Yikes.
And they made a lot of money because of it.
Yeah.
So. But I will say that the strikes, I feel like a lot of movies were delayed,
Were they?
at least
Yeah.
maybe into the back half of the year.
Not were they, bro? Come on. Hollywood was shut
Yeah,
down.
So
I mean,
that's my
true.
theory.
I guess
Anyway.
I just was because I didn't have the A-list. I wasn't going as much. So I didn't.
You heard the story. You saw the stuff.
That's true.
Come on, you were working in the shit, or maybe
Anyway.
you're not working.
What was your
damn
10,
job?
what was
But
the
yeah.
10 favorite union that went on strike?
I don't know any of them.
The writers.
Anyway, so my 10th movie is going to be. You guys ready for this? It's gonna be My Hero Academia. You're next.
Oh shit! Okay, that's
It was solid.
nice.
I couldn't put it any higher on the list, but I thought I had to at least just mention it
Right.
because.
Wait, you're saying it could have gone higher?
No, I said I couldn't
okay.
have. No.
Right,
it was,
right.
It being 10 was just me trying to help anime out.
Right.
But still, it was solid. I like the dude's powers.
Did they
It was
spread
a
out the
cool
budget, or it was just all at the end?
They went crazy with it the whole
The
time.
whole time?
The whole time. It was great. His power was like alchemy. It was
Pissed
great.
I didn't see it, man. I saw the.
It's still out. You can go see it.
It's out
out.
now. What?
It's out. Bro.
Damn.
It's hot. Go see it. If you like anime and you like anime, then you'll like this anime.
Right down below. Comment.
It's no. Anime represent on the list. Oops. Where's the applause? There we go. All right. I'll go last.
All right, so my number 10. This might be controversial. My number 10 was Twilight of the Warriors. Walled in.
Great movie.
Not
Fucking-
controversial at all.
I thought. Well, just that it wasn't higher.
Oh.
Because I thought it was a fucking blast. The only reason I didn't rate it higher is because I thought that the cocaine fucking villain who was super powered. There's a whole thing where like the guy who's all fucking woohoo, like zipping around and being invulnerable. They didn't really explain the whole chi point.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like just there could have been something there, and
Yeah.
it just it's
Supernatural.
Just another draft on the screenplay, but I thought it was so much fun. I fucking
Yeah.
loved it.
No, I like that it
There's a lot of
went
times too.
kinda
I
crazy.
was
Yeah,
like,
it
I
was
got
so
caught up
good.
in the stories too, and I was
Right,
like, oh
right.
damn, oh that guy's the fucking master, and he's really just
Yeah.
some old,
It was like by the time you connect
like a
to all the
refugee
characters,
and then, like,
it was
yeah.
real chaotic,
Yeah.
but then it just filtered down.
For people watching at home, we're in Monterey Park right now, which is known for their Chinese food. I went to a place right down the street from the theater and brought in a bunch of fucking noodles and chicken and stuff. And I was sitting in the front row and just eating like
You
a
should just do
Listen,
it for food.
it's part of the experience.
Oh,
You should
it
do
was
it
so.
for
It was
food.
like
the
the
viewing
best.
experience
It's
has
really good.
enhanced your.
It
your
really did.
experience,
So it was like a 4D or 5D.
I guess in
kinda
that
thing.
case, I am a little.
Because they were talking about in
surprised
that fucking thing, they had like
that
the
low.
pork recipe and shit. And like in that movie, they were showing like, oh, and here you got beat up, have some fucking food and shit. And I was like,
Love
I'm
that.
living my best life, eating.
It's very Asian.
And, yeah.
Very Asian movie.
Well, and Monterey Park has some great food too. So
Yeah, that'll potentially be coming up
All right.
pretty soon. But
what's your 10?
Yeah, go.
so I might. It's my show, so I'm gonna cheat a little bit and name two because I want to talk about. I couldn't decide.
Can I
Which
say
movie?
that? Wild Thing was actually an honorable mention for me. Let me just
Okay, yeah,
sorry.
that's-
Oh, it wasn't on your list.
No,
I'm
it's not on my
disappointed.
list, but that was definitely honorable.
It's worth an honorable mention there. It was
Okay.
number 10 for me. It's on the
I
cusp.
hate to do this to myself, but yeah, I couldn't decide. So one is Nosferatu
Okay.
for my 10,
Trash.
Okay.
and then one is Thelma.
The fuck
I'll
is
Thelma?
say
From Scooby Doo.
no. So I'll talk about Nosferatu first.
I'm
I,
gonna come back to that one later.
Okay.
Too, 'cause that's
Nosferatu. It's a story that's been told, but it was like really well told, like super creepy. Great filmmaking, acting was good. Lily Rose Depp, she killed it. Even
Trash.
though some people might disagree, but I liked her performance as like a possessed, scared.
I feel like she was just
person.
like a fucking like skeleton the whole time. That was the most.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even if she can only play like she's like typecast, like I think this was like a great role for her. But yeah, I love how they told the story. They revealed the beats.
Nosferatu.
Yeah. Like
Man,
it was all part of his plan. Like his sidekick was like hired the husband.
And then like the fact too that it was only happened because she specifically called him there. So everything was about him trying to get to her.
Like the first scene was just crazy. She's being possessed. You're like, what the fuck? Like something's wrong.
Yeah.
But then you work your way as to like why.
Yeah.
And like how connect the dots as to like, oh, like he felt called to her, and then he was always gonna want to get back to her at some point. So it was like a love story. It was like
I remember like halfway through, I realized like, oh, this movie isn't more complicated than that. I remember thinking like, there's gonna be some twists, there's gonna be some layers. I'm like, oh no, this is literally everything that you think is gonna happen is happening.
Once you realize, okay, it's just gonna happen, and you just have to just see how it happens. Sure, but I didn't really like how they did it all. I feel like they were forcing a lot of stuff. Like my guy was just used as a tool in the movie the main dude, to just do whatever they needed for the story. And it was just getting obnoxious. Now he's climbing out of a window. Now he's going into the He's just doing all the stupidest shit.
Yeah,
he
was kind of a bumbling idiot.
Like, just to move the story forward, and it's just like okay, like I don't know.
It's kind of funny to see just how much they shit on him. I
don't think he was supposed to be a smart guy,
but I like him as an actor. But something about that role was just annoying as hell.
Because I feel like the character was exactly what you just described. I mean, like when he goes to the village, everyone's laughing at him and shit, and it's like, oh wow, that's like, I mean, first of all, you realize the dude's a fucking dope. You know, this is his role in the movie to be fucking this kind of like shit on. But also, it's like, damn, that is a nightmare in and of itself. Can you imagine? You don't speak the fucking language. You're in a country, and all these people are just like, everyone's just laughing at you. Like you're in front of fucking school with your pants down or whatever. You know what I mean?
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's just anyway.
No, the imagery too. Just like I think more than anything,
the filmmaking was good.
The imagery, it was truly creepy. Like it was one of the creepiest movies I think of last year.
All right,
and that's saying something. So yeah.
Really creepy movie. Something's scarier than that.
In a different way.
Okay, number 9 for me is Beetlejuice.
Fuck.
Oh, that's my number 9 too.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You know? Knocked 2 out at once.
Really? I heard it was trash.
It was.
Oh, damn.
Here's what I'm going to say.
I didn't see it, though.
The only problem I had with the movie.
I heard that people didn't like
the end of it. It was the end of it. It was
What was wrong with the end of it?
The end of it was not climactic, and they wrapped everything up too quickly and too conveniently. How that the worm comes and kills everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody who we're just like, oh my gosh, here's the main conflict. They just all get eaten up in one scene and it's done.
Honestly, I watched Beetlejuice 2, then I rewatched Beetlejuice 1 for the first time in years, and Beetlejuice just shows up at the end and solves all the problems, and then its movie's over in the first one too, and I was like, shit.
Well, Beetlejuice was basically all of the build up in the film is for you to summon Beetlejuice. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it was. But honestly,
you sang it 3 times. When is that gonna happen? And that's what the climax is.
I wasn't sure what to expect with a long gap sequel.
But they killed that shit.
I had a lot of fun.
They were creative with how they made it flow. I liked the characters.
Yeah.
Like, they were dying. There was a lot of underworld connection.
Yeah.
I liked, was it Jenna Ortega?
Yeah, she was good.
And what her arc that she went through was genius.
I didn't see it coming. I was like,
I didn't see it
the fact
coming,
that you can watch
bro.
in this day and age and be like, damn, oh shit, that's
rare for me.
Hakeem, you gotta watch this.
That was Steven Spielberg?
What?
Was it Steven Spielberg?
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Yeah,
Tim Burton. Killed that shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad he came.
It was good. It didn't ruin the first one.
Right, yep.
If anything, it kind of like helped justify some stuff.
It did. Yep.
It was
I heard a lot of mixed things, but
it was solid. It was solid.
I guess I have to judge it for myself.
Well, what do you got for number 9?
I neglected to mention Thelma, and I just want to shout that out. I guess that maybe I'll make that 11 because I really do want to shout it out because like nobody's heard about it. It's like Die Hard like with the grandma.
Oh damn!
Like,
now
she's like a legit badass.
I'm intrigued,
and I just like the premise of like getting scammed because that's like a big thing, and like with AI phone scammers and stuff, like that's what he literally does.
Type shit.
Yeah, they do use a fake voice of the son saying he's in trouble. You have to send this money.
They did that to my dad actually.
So like I like that it's shouting out this actual issue that's a thing. But yeah, basically she just goes on a quest to like find the guy, and spoiler, she does, and it's fucking badass. Like a lot of like grandma action scenes.
So what? So that was 11. So what's 9?
What's 10? Whatever.
Oh.
Come on, bro.
Well, 10 was Nosferatu.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
10.
Fine. I just had
We're
to shout it out.
combining 9/11 because never forget.
Yes, well done. Okay, so number 9 is Flow. I saw it on streaming. It's an animated movie.
Okay, I
it
heard
was
that
made
was supposed to be really good.
in Blender actually and animated.
Some really crazy low
That
budget
sounds
too, like
epic.
under $5 million, I
Yeah.
think, for that movie.
Like
I need to
it
see
kind of
this.
looks.
Okay.
It looks like a little like low poly, but like it's part of the style.
Yeah, I feel
And
like all the animator
it's
films are fucking
no
awesome.
dialogue at all.
Okay.
It's just like
Hour and a half of no dialogue.
yeah, no dialogue. Noah's Ark situation where a cat like survives like a flood and
But
has,
don't tell me
like-
what happens.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
for sure.
Anyways, I'll leave it at that. It was like really good, like kind of like family, Fast and Furious style family movie. Maybe I shouldn't compare it. To
Yeah, that was intense.
Which Fast and the Furious? No, yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's number 9.
Number,
All right.
number 8.
We're going up to 8. Mine
Oh,
is
yeah.
going to be Civil War.
Okay,
Um,
didn't see it.
I liked the film because I thought it was, good storytelling. I thought that the themes were strong. They were able to loop everything in. There was some political stuff I didn't really like that they added because they didn't really need to add it. But
Like it's impossible not to have political stuff.
I
when you're
mean,
making
no, because they were already telling a good enough story to not get into some real kind of politics. But they did, and I wasn't mad at it, if I'm being honest,
Wasn't
because I feel like it did
neutral,
add to the story, and it kind of raised the stakes, but they could have raised the stakes in so many different ways if it's a civil war. You know what I mean? A million different things they could have done.
Yeah.
Solid movie, though. Again, the storytelling and like the character arcs, fantastic.
Was that the most expensive A24? Am I remembering
That's
that correctly?
yeah.
That was A24?
Yeah.
Okay. that makes
I
sense.
think I heard that too.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
it
why
the
that
most
was hitting
expensive.
like that.
Because
and Kirsten Dunst, I
it's
thought it has been, but she wasn't.
Yeah.
Alex Garland, and so they gave him like reign to like spend a lot of
Ex
money.
Machina.
Yeah, I mean even
Annihilation
just
or whatever.
especially like the climax when they're at the White House.
Yeah, that
Like,
was
just
great.
all,
Great. That was fun.
Like action stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
was
talk.
fun.
I'm gonna talk about that. more
Honestly,
later.
I didn't see it because I thought it was like kind of pretty grossly exploitative of the current political situation.
It's
Just to-
completely neutral. Like it's
But
not even
you know
about
what?
that.
But it
It's-
does
it's-
get that way, that
it's-
one scene, but it's not about at all. And
It's
that's the
about,
cool thing.
just media,
It's about
you know?
journalism,
It's about
honestly.
journalism, yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
like a love letter to journalism. Almost.
And the guy, I
Great.
mean, he's from England, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, so it's like, oh, well,
But
whatever.
he
I mean,
like
you
I
can
think what he
justify it
said
however
is
you
like
want,
he
but
wants
it's
like
still,
he wanted a neutral kind of take, which I think it's a take. You know, it doesn't have to be political
I think
in any
that
way.
by
you know?
doing it in the first place, it's making it like a take. You know what I mean? I feel like he's just sort
Fair
of like,
enough.
I've read the interviews and I feel like he's just kind of like it's a pretentiously explained. And you know what? It's cool. I'm not saying he shouldn't do. It's like trying to pretend like he's not being exploitative.
You're saying that just it being the concept, and
Just like
theme.
it feels
But
like
the
so
movie's not about
calculated.
that,
I know
though.
it's not
I know,
about
for
that, but
sure
it's just
it
the
is.
people who because it's the
You
people
just
who are
said it,
making
though.
it. They don't give a fuck. It's like, oh, this is like what people all talk. The algorithm saying Civil War is being talked about. Let's make a movie to cash in on this. How can we profit from the Civil War? That's like,
Well, they found a good way.
Yeah.
I think he said too, and I'll talk about this later, but that it's
Good
like
way.
fictional. It's like dystopian. It's like not. It's obviously
Yeah.
they
I mean, it's-
pretend. Just like what they
Captain
did with
America
the,
Civil
it's
War.
like
Yeah,
but
but that
an
one was just,
imagined like
people
Nazi
punching
future.
each
Like
other
you can
in
make
the-
a movie that pretends
I
like
mean, you could.
you know.
Man in the High Castle was that.
Yeah.
The Fourth Reich.
All right. I'll go.
Anyway,
I mean, not to step on your
I'm done.
number
I'm done, bro.
8.
8.
Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought it was fun. I had my expectations were around floor level, honestly. And I was laughing. You know what I think? What I liked about it, I appreciated was that Ryan Reynolds wasn't constantly trying to be like the funny person. He was doing jokes and doing his whole Ryan Reynolds thing, which is so played out. But then he was like, his character was playing it straight, and he was being the one being like, guys, let's get serious and whatever, and letting other people do their fucking shit. You know what I mean? By its core concept, Ryan Reynolds is like mugging for 2 hours and whatever. And I feel like I said, Ryan Reynolds is kind of getting
and
close.
Hugh Jackman, man.
Well, but Hugh Jackman was good. I feel like Hugh Jackman like showed up,
Well,
and he was like really
He
brought it.
showed up.
He showed,
but yeah.
and then I feel like for the first part of the movie he was just kind of asleep, and then like there's one point
It's
halfway
almost
halfway
like
through.
homoerotic, like between like.
I mean,
love
they
story
definitely have the
between
fighting.
Yeah,
love
I
scene.
did it. That was obnoxious for me.
But like,
Like
there's
that's
a
the
part
kind of
when-
banter it was.
when
yeah.
when Wolverine was braiding Deadpool and he really was like emotionally like you could see the journey. I thought it was well made. It was the same way with the Spider-Man movie with Tobey and shit, where it's like
For sure.
it's
I
all
had some
fan service,
emotions,
but they
but-
put they put enough effort into it to make it like okay, this is like spectacle, but then they're also like making it
a lot of fan service, a lot of characters.
Chris Evans as the fucking
Johnny
fucking,
Storm.
you know, and the fact that they have
That was
Deadpool
great,
actually just like kill people and be a piece of shit rather than trying to have
Blaze, yeah, you know,
Yeah,
that was
fucking
some fun in there.
Electra.
Jennifer Garner.
Electra, yeah,
man.
yeah, there was some fun in there.
Yeah,
It was fun.
them making fun of Channing Tatum's Gambit and shit, which you know I'd like to.
Which was hilarious.
Yeah, I liked
That
his.
was
I
funny.
liked everything about him except for his action
Oh,
scenes. They
Blink,
did all
I'm
this
gonna watch
weird
that movie.
sped up shit about like you know his fight scene. They didn't need to do it.
We talked about this during the hindsight, but the villain was very boring.
But
It was just like a female version of
It was
Yeah.
Charles Xavier who could walk. That's
So
all she
nothing
was.
like Charles Xavier in a lot of ways, but also it's basically just a copy of is the bald person. Anyway,
But yeah, she
it was
wasn't
good.
like.
It
it was
super
his
interesting.
sister. It was a copy.
I haven't read I don't read X-Men comics. I don't know all the pick
Wasn't
characters.
that said in the movie? Because I'd never even heard of it.
I see. I assume that it was a multiverse thing, where it's like just like, oh, this is an alternate
No,
version.
it's like his
of-
sister. It was
Okay.
the sister of Professor X.
I mean, that's
was
well.
her.
Now we're all learning stuff today.
I guess she had the weird like.
She was doing
hand-
Professor X stuff. She was like
Yeah.
kind of like.
But she did the hand thing. That was her.
Whatever.
That was how
Yeah.
she did her power. But it was.
Yeah, it was
I didn't.
cool.
I didn't like it. I didn't think she was a. She wasn't a worthy enough villain. I understand
But
thematically
it wasn't
with
even
Wolverine.
about her. You know what I mean? That's
For
why it's
sure,
like
for
it,
sure.
It was all.
But
yeah.
it would have made it more for me. I feel like that's where I always the ball is dropped with Marvel.
We're seeing
every
like
time
what the
because of
story
that.
is, you know, with the time
Yeah.
variance thing. Like, is the time variance guy the villain? But then you
Who's
introduce
even
that
the time?
as
Who's the
I
time?
thought
variance
that
guy? I
dude was
forgot
funny.
about that
Yeah,
shit.
he was just some fucking suit.
Yeah, but
man.
like you're like finding where this story is going, and then it's like, oh, it was a little disappointing, like
Yeah.
where.
Oh, because that was the ultimate. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure.
Because like they spend most of the time in that fucking
Like the desert or whatever?
void or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's-
But like the action scenes were all amazing. Like the first
Yeah.
one,
More
was
fun than I did
literally
with
using
Avatar.
his bones right as like,
yeah.
Oh, with the
Weapons,
Justin
yeah.
Timberlake or Backstreet
and
or
the Deadpool fight, like with all the Deadpools, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's not in your top 10, right?
no, not my top 10. It was okay.
So we're you know, giving it its due here. All right, so it's not number 8 still.
Yes.
You're 8.
A Quiet Place Day 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was a
You
good
want
I
to
didn't
see
see
that?
Because
So
I haven't
it was
seen the
like-
first two, so I didn't want to get spoiled.
So I know like
it was like a standalone.
yeah,
damn
I've
near.
heard like a lot of people say it's not what they were expecting,
It's
but
not.
I think that
It wasn't as good as the others.
it really transcended. Like it was like a very personal, like small scale story about, because like you're thinking day one, you're thinking like, you know, the origins of how the Quiet
Yeah.
Place, but they literally like it happens in like 10 minutes.
So like 28 days later kind of thing? Sort of like
Yeah.
the origin of the zombie.
yeah, like you're thinking that it's like you're gonna see it from a bunch of people's perspectives and like how did these aliens come down, but you don't really see that.
So,
But I think like
Yeah,
if
you do. You do see that.
I mean, you do see it, but like it's like
it's not
yada
like
yada
going
yada.
between a million different characters.
You don't understand like what these things are or like how they work.
Like,
'Cause, yeah,
for someone who
it
hasn't
just
seen it,
happens.
would you recommend watching it before the other ones, or should you place it?
I think it's
After.
I think
I
it's
think-
completely. You don't need to see the other ones.
Yeah,
at
for
all.
sure. But I
Yeah.
think if you have to watch the order, that's a more fun order is watching the first two and then watching that one to see
Okay.
like what had happened.
yeah. But I think like just her cancer story.
I'm
where
intrigued
the-
by anything Lupita Nyong'o's in.
Yeah, where
sure.
she's like dealing with her limited lifespan and she finds help. They like deal with how to like navigate this new world and like it's like a small scale story, but,
Nice.
but that was like very effective.
Man, number 7.
It's gonna be Fall Guy.
Oh, okay, right on. That's my 5. So we'll talk.
Oh shit,
Okay.
that's my 7 too.
Hell yeah!
Okay.
Hell yeah!
Nice. I like a good twofer. So why did I like this movie? Ryan Gosling. You know, I'm just a fan now. I can't
Yeah.
even front. Just a cool
He
fan.
fucking nailed it.
He did.
he was so-
And I like the idea of talking about things that maybe don't even get talked about that much. You know, like being in Hollywood and, you know, I actually know people who are stunt doubles, and sure,
Yeah.
they do a lot of crazy stuff on big movies and get no love.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. There was a movie just about that.
I feel like it was the best
fun love
use of
story.
the AI. I feel like a lot of movies have been shoehorning AI as a topical thing, and the fact that they did the deep fake, you know,
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yep.
I think what really I liked it from the beginning. As soon as because they started out with this great long shot going up the elevator, but then when they did the fucking glow stick fight scene where he's on fucking drugs,
Excellent.
oh
They had a lot
my God,
of fun moments.
fucking
in
love
there.
that.
And the end was fun, and like the
Yeah.
climax, all of it, it was.
It all
very-
made sense. And
Yeah,
all, like,
it all
yeah.
made sense, especially all all the craziness of it all.
Yeah.
and all the
yeah, this is a
the
craft
driving
movie.
while we're
Yeah.
shooting and stuff. Like I don't know, it just
That
was fun.
It was a fun movie. That was definitely a good way
Yeah,
of saying it.
I've not seen a movie of this scale shout
Yeah.
out like stunt people like this.
The reason I ranked it higher is because of that glow stick fight scene. I thought that was fucking
It was
crazy.
epic. It was epic.
Oh my
Wait,
god. He's like on drugs or some shit. And
He's like in
everything's
the
like
club.
fucking neon.
Yeah,
like,
And every time he hits someone, it like vibrates out. I love that,
That was
shit. That's like some
beautiful.
live action anime right there.
yeah,
Shout out
and it's
anime.
really funny too.
Yeah.
like great
Very.
chemistry between Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt.
Yo.
Yeah.
She just made it on the list back
Aaron
to back.
Taylor Johnson's been crushing this year because he was in that. He was in Nosferatu. Yeah, he was, I mean, Craven the Hunter. I don't want to spoil anyone's list or anything. I didn't see
Number
Craven
one,
the Hunter.
actually.
Yeah.
I can't
So,
even
thank you.
imagine seeing that movie.
Yeah.
You know what? I tried to watch it in the first scene. We were out.
Oh man, I mean that's how I felt about
were
Madam
out.
Web, and I forced myself over like 2 weeks
You know
to
what?
watch
The
that.
good thing about Craven the Hunter is it's the final one
Yeah.
of the.
So they're done with that, like
That's the
Venom.
Sony
and,
one,
Thank
yeah.
fuck.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Thank
so-
about
God.
damn time.
Sending it off.
Wait, all right. You said Fall Guy was your thing,
Then
so
let's
that means
say it's
I'm
you. It's just you for
Dune
something.
2.
Dune 2 is
Dune
on
2.
my list too.
That was I thought it was good.
Dune is up there for me.
I,
Dune
honest,
was
I feel like these
No. Don't say what number it was.
these couple. I feel like
Okay.
some of they're kind of interchangeable. I feel like I ranked them all by out of 10. These are all 8s. Literally everything under the number 4, everything under number 5 is like all 8s. So Dune
was
2 I
good.
thought was cool. You know,
I loved it. Nissan Al-Gaid.
Yeah.
You know, it was,
dude, Javier Bardem was fucking hilarious.
he was killing it.
so funny.
He was killing
Oh
it,
my
bro.
God.
Everybody was killing
It's a
it.
funnier movie than I expected it
and it
to
was
be.
action packed.
The fucking Austin Butler. was
Austin
good.
Butler went crazy.
Yeah, solid all around.
It was the first time I wasn't calling him fucking Elvis.
Yeah,
He
right.
did it. He broke
Now,
out of that.
He's like a Disney kid, right? He was
I
a
don't
Disney
remember.
actor as a kid.
Yes.
I didn't know that until recently. That he and Zendaya both were like Disney stars.
Zendaya I did know, but I didn't know he was. That makes sense.
What was Zendaya's show? I didn't.
I don't know. Zendaya on Disney
Yeah.
Channel.
Okay, any Dune
Well,
2? Are you saving your Dune 2 thoughts?
I'm gonna save it.
All right, well, let's go with your
it's gonna be
7
talked
then.
about more.
Yeah, we'll loop back around.
Yeah, so
Lisa Gillian.
We already
Fall
said my
Guy.
7. We're
Fall
back.
Guy,
We already
Fall
said
Guy.
Fall
Right.
Guy.
I would
We
just
already
add
did
it's a really great crowd pleaser.
Which
I
one?
was Fall Guy.
Okay, so that was your 7. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about it.
So,
But yeah, it's just a shame because like it didn't do that well.
Did it
in
not?
theaters? Yeah.
No.
Like
Really?
that seems like a perfect 4-quadrant
But
movie.
Ryan
you know what I
Gosling
mean?
and Emily Blunt is in that fucking movie.
If it was Tom
Is she
Cruise
the
and Scarlett
most-
Johansson,
I mean, one of them.
maybe it would have done better.
I would say Margot Robbie over Scarlett Johansson.
Well, both of them, you know, they got that premium paycheck.
Scarlett Johansson she's done now.
No,
I
I'm
ain't
saying
seen her
like
in
yeah,
nothing.
they
I
could
don't-
probably
Jurassic
sell
Park
this
coming
movie
out.
better. Truck scene was amazing. Cause like the split screen.
Yeah.
That shit
Oh,
was
that was good
fucking
too.
Yeah.
fantastic.
That
I've never
yeah,
seen that
was good.
before.
All right, number 6 is Furiosa,
Okay.
a Mad Max saga.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
That was my number 11. That was my honorable mention.
That was a great movie for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just like
honorable mention as well.
I had saw the other Mad Max and I liked how they bridged that.
Yeah.
And I thought that the structure of it was cool with like the little like arcs or
Yeah.
chapters or whatever. That was fun.
That
Furiosa
random
was
fake
going
Mad
hard.
Max got me. I didn't expect to like
good.
that guy or even know. I didn't know that he was. Gonna
Who?
be, there's a fake Mad Max that she was like her mentor that got road hauled behind a motorcycle and shit. You know what I mean? He was like the dude who's like, I'm gonna train you to be a fucking whatever.
to be a driver.
Yeah. Yeah, right. You know, whatever. And then they fucking kill him and shit. I thought it got
I
me.
didn't see that coming. I
Yeah.
loved it. I
Yeah.
loved it.
I was there for it.
It showed how she became that character that
Yeah.
was Charlize Theron.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
It was solid.
Really-
Yep. Enjoyed it.
Beautifully made.
And I loved all the bad guys too, and like their motivation still made sense and stuff to me. Like
I mean, yeah, it's
wonderful.
not on my list, but shout out to it. I thought it was good.
The one on my list, the next one, Abigail. Fucking love that. That was so much fun. I had a blast there. I mean, Melissa Barrera. I thought she was good in Scream. I thought she was good in this. The fucking hyper violent small children just being the fucking scary monster. Giancarlo Esposito was in it. He was fucking hilarious and awesome. I mean, Dan Stevens, the main fucking bad guy.
What's it
great.
about?
It's basically it's like they're doing a heist and then there's a fucking vampire.
Tell me the name one time.
Abigail.
No.
Either you see this shit? Oh man, it's like they break into this fucking house and then it turns out that they're breaking into a vampire's house, and it's like shit gets wild. And it's really
But you don't know she's a vampire.
well. If you're going to see the movie Abigail, you probably know it's gonna be a vampire movie because like you know. But then I mean, you could easily go in thinking it's gonna be just some fucking crime thing.
So 2 vampire movies. this
yeah,
year.
yeah. Abigail was dope.
Great.
It was fun. Highly recommend.
Well,
All right.
put it on the list.
Go
What you got?
6.
We already talked about it. Twilight of the Warriors
yeah.
walled in.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
That was a
Great
good one.
action, great story,
Great acting too. I really like.
great acting,
Great food prep and cinematography
Yeah,
of the food.
yeah, really great
That-
martial arts.
That pork.
Really
man.
great martial arts. And like good like, with the effects and stuff too.
Yeah.
It wasn't like overwhelming.
Yeah.
It was almost like a subtle thing that more than it being,
That world
That
building
over the
too,
top.
like the layers, the crime shit,
for
and the
sure.
generations.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mm,
solid.
yeah, and then
Good history of the city. It was
Yeah.
fun.
the supernatural stuff at the end was
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Again, it wasn't like too much though.
yeah.
It was a lot. Honestly, thinking back, it
Like,
was
it was
kind
like
of a
wuxia,
lot.
you know what I mean?
but it was
It was very
It fit.
it was very traditional Chinese martial arts.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much else to say. Like great,
Highly
really loved it.
recommend.
Yeah,
People
highly
at home,
recommend.
check that shit out.
Oops, wrong. I realize I haven't been using this much, but transition.
Wait, so are we down to 5?
5.
Damn. All right. What you got?
My 5 is Sonic 3.
I really want to see Sonic 3.
Is that one?
And,
I can't
It's already
believe
been
that.
talked freely about it. I've already.
So-
I cannot.
It's corny
I
with
have
the
not.
humans.
Wait, you say you don't like it?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
The human parts are kind of corny, but as far as Sonic the Hedgehog goes, for those like Sonic movies, like Keanu Reeves was the perfect casting. Jim Carrey, it was hilarious. He
It's funny
plays 2 characters.
That he's not counting the human things, right? Because he's like part of
because
the
he's
fucking
Jim
shit.
Carrey.
He's like, he
He's
is a
Jim Carrey.
cartoon.
Yeah,
And
literally.
that's like-
Yes, yeah.
He's a
that's
fucking
funny.
treasure, man. He's like.
That's
yeah.
funny. Yeah, he's not even counted. And I mean by like all of the.
It's funny because I haven't
James
seen. I knew
Marsden,
exactly
I
what you're
think.
talking
You know
about.
what I
He's
mean?
always a straight man to some fucking more interesting stuff. James Marsden. He's just kind of like the fucking saltine cracker.
Yeah,
that goes with, like,
insert actor.
Yeah.
It's
That's good. That's why it's. How's the action?
on point.
Huh?
Sonic versus Shadow is great, and they go super everything you wanted in the movie. And if you played the games, then
See,
it's fun. Like,
I
it's
wasn't
just
sold
awesome.
on it. I really liked the first Sonic because it was kind
Jim
of buddy
Carrey
road
the
trip.
The second?
No,
Yeah,
the
he
first
saw
one.
it. He saw
No,
both.
did you see the
Oh,
second?
I saw the second. Yeah. It was like unexpected how good the first Sonic was, and then I feel like it just inevitably gets like on more of a massive scale. Like the first one was just like a road trip kind of movie.
Yeah.
and
I
then
mean,
it
but
just
those
gets
Sonic
more,
games are fucking wild. Like when
more
you-
and more intense.
Like Sonic would go to like I played them on an emulator a couple years ago, and you go to space in the first game, so it's like fucking wild.
I
shit.
guess, yeah.
Because it was just Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was carrying everything. He
Yeah.
was the guiding force that was making it. And
So
Shadow
what
has a
happened?
real
So
story, but it's like Jim
escaped
Carrey is
back
this.
into what was his deal?
Jim Carrey.
You want me to just spoil the movie?
Yeah.
Well, he's just there. Eggman, Robotnik is just the bad guy. in
His
the things or whatever.
grandson
Didn't
or his
he die or
grandfather basically gets him. He like to come out of retirement. He's like hiding.
Oh, okay.
And his grandfather comes out. He comes with Shadow, and then they're like, "Okay, we got to go get Sonic." Shadow is really on some like, I want revenge on people.
All right,
for what they
gotcha.
did.
I'm gonna hop out just because my 5 is already. We already talked Fall Guy. I said everything I want to say about the Fall
for
Guy.
sure.
Fall Guy,
It was
all
good.
right.
Do your 5.
Yeah.
We already talked about Civil War.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll just
We'll
add,
move
yeah.
fast.
I was a little skeptical how they were going to, handle the politics and stuff. But yeah, again, it was more tension than anything, with the journalists just being
Who's the
on the
journalist?
ground, like that fucking scene with what's his name, that
Jesse Plemons.
Jesse Plemons,
Funny,
yeah.
even without seeing it, I already know who it's because it's
Yeah, I mean, it's
all the reviews
It's
are-
incredible. It's tense. Like the scene with the fucking sniper, and they're like, if we move, like, is he gonna fucking shoot
Yeah.
us?
This
Yeah, it's
Kristen
just so
does-
tense.
She dies at the end, doesn't she?
I knew that. I've had
Yeah,
the plot spoiled for me, so
she
no worries.
Oh my
She
god!
goes
I
in.
forgot to do that.
That's
Oh,
why,
like,
shit.
she
you can
takes
punch
the shot.
in when
He
you
was
edit
talking
this.
about it so much. I'm like, oh shit! It made it poetic too,
Yeah.
though. Like that was to me
No,
that was
'cause
one of the things
she
that brought it
learns.
together. Yeah,
She really, like, yeah,
Learns
she
with
proves her
dying
worth.
kills.
but it's also talked about in the film when she's like, "Don't wait for me." Like Kirsten Dunst's character
Right,
is on some
yeah.
like, "Keep shooting." You know what I
She's-
mean?
She's the
People
Padawan.
are gonna die.
She is all of us. So who's the actress name? I forget.
the little girl.
The girl, yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I don't
keep it
know,
moving.
especially
We should-
like
yeah,
in
skip
our
move.
industry.
My 4 is Dune Part 2. We talked about.
During
it.
part 2, that was
So-
fucking.
Whoa,
yo,
I didn't
one quick thing I'll say,
finish
dude. I watched on YouTube the end fight
I gotta
with
go.
Timothy Chalamet and the other guy. Amazing choreography. Just want to say that.
And what?
The Dune 2.
You haven't seen the movie?
No, I saw it. I'm saying that I watched on YouTube the ending fight recently just because I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, when they got to.
And they're flipping around, do all sorts
Yeah,
of wild
for sure.
shit. It was crazy. All right,
All right,
my number
keep
4,
going.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Apes. together fucking strong. I fucking love that. I ate that shit up, man. I was emotionally invested in the fucking movie. The apes doing their fucking catching bird eggs and shit and doing like, you know.
It was rough for me.
Dude, I
missed it.
When I was a kid, I saw those movies on TV and shit. And it's like, for me, it felt like, I mean, those movies always were kind of
nostalgic.
Yeah, it was like, okay, this is what the movie would have been like if they had money and
CG,
cared
that's what
about, like,
did.
literally just. It was just like, damn, they're literally making a good version of the old movie, and I can't believe that exists.
It was just a different version because those were like alien monkeys more.
No, in the
like
old
apes.
one, they were like because they were the fucking people in the stupid rubber masks. This just was like legit, and it was fun. I feel like that's what a lot of my choices that, you know, maybe they're not the best things ever, but I had a lot of fun watching it. I feel like that goes a long way, you know.
I mean,
I'm sad I didn't catch that because I think I would have liked it.
Check it out, see it. It's got the girl from The Witcher in it.
I feel like she, you know, honestly, I didn't pay her any mind in The Witcher, but I liked her in this movie. I like the CGI was great.
I can agree. This was her.
Of all these 4 Planet of the Apes ones, the second one, the one with Gary Oldman, is like literally my top 5 movies of all. I was so shocked by how good that movie was. Yeah. This movie is not as good as that, but it's still fun. No, Dawn. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Number 4, we talked about Dune Part 2. Again, just
are you Team Chalamet or Team Butler?
Huh?
Are you Team Chalamet or Team Butler?
Team Chalamet.
I am not Team Chalamet.
All right, Florence Pugh or
Zendaya.
Dude, he got everything.
There you go.
He's literally everything.
You know, can I spoil something for Dune 3?
Huh?
Can I spoil something for Dune 3?
That he turns into a...
I can spoil it. I can't wait to see what happens when Jason Momoa comes back.
Yeah.
Son.
Anyways, let me just finish real quick on Dune 2. Amazing scope, scale. I think Dune 1 was kind of the setup for this. There was something missing in Dune 1. I think just this took it over the edge. I was a huge fan of Dune 1.
I hated Dune 1,
but I think it's incomplete, of course. It's just incomplete still.
Yeah.
But at least there's like an arc. You find out that Paul Atreides has Harkonnen blood, and he just like he gets obsessed, like his you know. And then it's about like Zendaya and him
too. It's about
and her like questioning his motive now.
Yeah.
And so I mean, scale of the fight of the action sequences, the fucking riding the sandworm was the most incredible fucking.
Did you watch
IMAX
it in IMAX? Okay, yeah.
That was crazy.
Nice. So you had the good sound.
You guys didn't see it in 35mm film?
No, I think I saw it just on the regular laser.
It was 70? Sure. Yeah, I saw that. I saw it like 3 times, I'm not gonna lie.
Nice.
The fucking sound design, incredible. The score.
But if you have the A-list though, it's chill.
Anyway.
I paid.
Cool. All right, what's your number 3? Oh,
popcorn bucket.
Popcorn. You got the fleshlight.
All right.
Next.
Number 3 is going to be. What was it?
Suspense is killing me.
Knox Goes Away.
What
That's
the
my
fuck?
other Michael Keaton movie.
Okay, never heard of it.
I'm glad we're shouting
Not
out
even once.
undiscovered movies.
Hot. It's like a guy he's like a thief who's about to die of like dementia or something. A James Marsden film. Michael Keaton and James Marsden.
All right.
James Marsden, he kills it because it was written for that kind of guy.
Cool.
Who was just like a scared, like, oh, what am I going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like perfect for
Diagnosed
that kind
with
of
a
guy.
form of dementia, the contract killer gets the chance to redeem himself.
Huh. I'm intrigued already. If it wasn't your top 3, I'd already be intrigued just by this description.
He saves his family. He's going crazy. He is like a bad guy, but it's like the way he set it all up, like it was
cool.
Does he
it was awesome.
forget what he's doing?
Don't spoil. I want to see
it's like it's such a good arc, like father son arc. Bro.
I want to go in as black because now
this is in the plot synopsis.
The beauty of it is it's not just like the happiness of it. It's like it's literally both sides.
What's the
you can see
genre?
the beauty in like
it looks like
just
comedy, action, horror, crime, like drama.
It's like crime, drama, action. I guess it was kind of funny.
Thriller. It just says
Thriller. There we go. All those things are a thriller.
I'm down with it. I'm sold.
It was good.
All right, next, my number 3 is Challengers. I went into this. It was like so. I was like so overhyped on it. Yeah, okay. And I've never been on board with Zendaya.
Yeah,
and whenever I was on an airplane, and I come, like 6 hour
guys
flight,
fighting over Zendaya's love, basically.
Honestly, I went in with like expectations below the floor, and I was like, I was in. It was like a good movie. I mean, I was like, I thought. I'd seen parodies of it before I saw the fucking things. I just didn't. It's like when people are like, "Oh, you gotta see this fucking movie." A lot of times I'm just like, I'll catch it whenever, whatever. But this one actually, I was surprised by how much I liked it and how good it was.
The filmmaking is incredible.
Yeah,
the
it was
camera
good.
shots,
You know what
the
was
POV
funny?
views of the tennis ball.
The fucking
like,
the tornado of paper that's happening in the near the end when they're in the car and there's a fucking hurricane of fucking. I thought that was the funniest thing. It's like, what the fuck happened? Did the newspaper factory explode? And there's just like a million pieces of paper flying.
That sounds funny.
It was interesting. It was fun. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
I agree.
I didn't expect
Didn't quite
to like
make
it,
my
but
10, but I highly respect it.
I think because it was so unexpected is why I ranked highly, because I got to have that blind experience.
Oops. Number 3. I don't know if you've heard of this, but Hundreds of Beavers.
Oh, I have heard of it.
No.
It was
getting like indie acclaim and stuff. Yeah. So black and white movie about a drunken Applejack salesman.
What the fuck?
And he must go from zero to hero and become North America's greatest fur trapper by defeating hundreds of beavers. It's like a Looney Tunes, basically, in like live
that
action.
Sold me.
No. It's
Looney
live
Tunes.
action, but there's people dressed in beaver costumes.
Oh,
and
shit.
it's very like low budget, but they like pull it off with like transitions, like practical effects, like slapstick fucking sound effects and humor. It's kind of like who's that guy from Bugs Bunny?
Elmer Fudd.
Elmer Fudd, yeah.
Understand?
He's trying to.
okay. So
film,
yeah.
Hakeem.
Huh?
This is a 2022 film.
Maybe it was like
Nope.
maybe it premiered at a festival then, but then took this long to get distribution.
I think you guys like it. It's
Cool.
fucking
I'm down.
really. It's super funny, super clever.
These
super
are the types of
creative.
recommendations
Yeah.
I'm here for. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. This looks cool.
All right, what's your number 2?
Oh shit. Number 2 is the Book of Clarence.
Oh yeah, that was right in the cusp for
Stop.
me there.
Give me a break, bro.
That first half of that movie
You
was
didn't like
fucking
Nah.
fire.
Hey, I'm
until
black though, and so to see all that black
Yeah.
excellence, telling a fun Bible story that was like it was like pressing people's buttons kind of too.
Honestly, the only reason I
And Lakeith
didn't rate it
Stanfield
higher
is
is because
hilarious.
I feel like if they kept it the first half of the movie but then they turned him into Jesus, I feel like they didn't need to do that. And-
they didn't need to do that part, but they didn't really turn him into Jesus because Jesus was still Jesus.
Right,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It turned out he just got like Jesus' story was edified by what happened to Clarence,
Yeah.
but. You're right. They didn't need to do that part.
Oh,
Like,
I
they had
forgot
enough
about
going.
fucking Benedict Cumberbatch because he looks like Jesus.
Yes,
and
and
they fucking kill him.
They put him on a
funny.
cross.
I did really. That was like right on my like cusp of the fucking
Yeah.
shit there.
That movie was
but-
And
hilarious.
the filmmaking was good.
Yeah.
I like
And just I thought the humor was funny.
Yeah.
It was a cool way to reimagine like, Jerusalem and all those times.
Yeah.
Like and
production design was off the
all
charts.
the
It was
crazy
really-
storytelling of like, oh no, this is what really happened kind of
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I really like that movie.
Yeah.
That's my
okay.
number. I already said
I
Nosferatu.
respect it.
You said
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I'll say the reason why I wasn't scared, but I
number
thought the
2, huh?
atmosphere. We're on
I
number 2.
know, huh?
I at no point was I scared of Nosferatu, but I really just dug the atmosphere. So I'll just leave it at that.
It was creepy. They did have a couple jump scares.
Yeah.
The Remarkable Life of Evelyn. This is a documentary.
Okay.
I know your brains have just shut off, but I'm gonna tell you why you need to see it.
Don't IMDb though.
Matt Steen, a Norwegian gamer, died of a degenerative muscle disease at
Oh.
the age of 25. His parents mourned what they thought had been
A lot of comedies on the list then.
lonely and
family
isolated
person.
life when he started receiving messages from online friends around the world. So most of this movie is told within World of Warcraft.
Oh shit.
And it's like he had
this
a whole
is that movie.
He had a whole life. His friends
Oh,
and family
I'm doing
thought
sense.
that he was like this like recluse, and then they found all these messages in the game, and they reenact the whole movie, most of the movie,
With,
in
like,
the
voice
game
actors?
with voice actors that sound like the people that like
Wow.
and the friends that he had voiced the characters.
What's the
in real
name
life.
of the movie?
The Remarkable Life of Evelyn. And
I'm
he's
intrigued.
kind of like a playboy. Like yeah,
He's
it's
dead?
like yeah, he died.
I thought you
How
said
is
he
he
was a
Playboy if
recluse.
he's in the game?
Yeah. Wait.
Well,
I thought-
they make him out to be like this like
He's
womanizer.
he's a womanizing orc.
online he's a womanizer, but in real life,
In
he's
real
just
life,
So
he's
it
just
is very sad.
all right. Shit. Well,
but
he
it's
dies,
it's
right?
very
Because that's the whole.
beautiful.
He's terminal. Is the whole point.
But like they made such an impact on his like this like guild's
Interesting.
life. They like meet up. They
Do you remember when
They-
that was released
yeah.
throughout the year? Or-
maybe summer. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right.
I'm intrigued.
I'm up again.
Yeah.
Number one.
My number one
Can we get the applause?
for the year. Somebody should play the soundtrack right now because the song is hot too. It is Birds of a Feather.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Wicked. I was like, God,
Dude,
damn,
I did that perfectly.
It's the Wild Robot.
Wild Robot.
Wild Robot's my
Okay.
number one.
Damn. Okay.
I didn't see that
still
one.
haven't
People
seen it.
love that shit though. It was like it got really good reviews. I just kind of.
It was great.
What was good about it?
What was good about it was one, the animation, of course. The
Oh,
great
sure.
animation.
3D
Two,
or 2D?
3D, but it was like, when you
just got not even a cell shader. It just was textured well. You know what I mean? They just did a great job capturing like nature too.
Did it have dialogue or was it?
It had a depth dialogue, a little talking robot who was just lost in nature, like it was an animal.
Because like WALL-E didn't have talking.
Nope. This was way better than WALL-E.
Cool.
It wasn't way better than WALL-E, but it was still better than WALL-E to me. This had like that story of like a robot trying to find its place in the world as if it was an animal. So I don't know. It was different.
Interesting.
I do like a good animation. I like, and so that's like a kids movie, right? It's like a G thing or something.
Yeah, probably a kids movie.
Kids movie.
Well, I mean, hey,
but yeah,
degrade it. Like,
there's some good.
Well,
I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Oh my god, I can explain.
It's not gonna be like the fucking Terminator with robots
like
or something.
Puss in Boots 3. If anybody saw The Last Wish, they learned a lot of techniques from Puss in Boots, and then they incorporate it into this new.
That's all you had to say.
The style, it's like DreamWorks has mastered something new.
It's called?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like they mastered a new technique of like making these animated films, and I'm here for it.
All right.
And then it's like sci-fi too, like even though it's the robot in nature, like the robot has an origin.
It's a robot.
Yeah,
So it's
like it was fun.
Hell yeah. My number one was apparently supposed to be originally made for video on demand and got moved to theater. I'm so happy it was. Alien Romulus. Fucking love that dude. That movie was so much fucking fun. Okay. You can tell from my list, I do appreciate horror. This movie is like, it had everything. It had like literally like the story was fucking good. The cast was fucking amazing. Like it referenced every single Alien movie in like kind of like ways that were like subtle enough. I don't want to spoil it, but it had some of the most viscerally disturbing, in a good way, in a way that you want.
Spoil it? I heard there was like a crazy twist.
There's well, it's not a twist because as soon as you see one particular, all right, you see in the very beginning of the movie, there's a pregnant lady, and you're like, some shit's gonna go down. I don't know what's gonna happen.
She gets alien.
Some type of
and her baby are gonna
some
link,
type of fucking shit that's gonna happen.
It's gonna be a new alien baby.
It's wild. I couldn't stop.
And the end of the movie is gonna shoot out of her stomach. Obviously,
it is beyond what I would have expected because I've seen all the alien. There's some fucking wild shit that happens in those.
You're gonna be chained up on some like.
Bro, you got. You're going. I went in blind. I mean, I thought I would enjoy because I like Prometheus. I like Alien Covenant. Whatever. I like this. This is probably maybe my favorite Alien movie experience besides the original. I think. I'm not like a super fan, but I like.
Who's the original Alien? Oh, Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a hit.
Aliens was awesome.
Or
This was a sequel to the original one, so it takes place like directly
between
after
1 and 2.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
And they do it in a really cool way.
I actually don't remember Alien 1. So
but then like they also tie in Prometheus and all that shit in a cool way too, and then also all the other bullshit ones like Alien Resurrection, which fucking it's terrible. But they make
Resurrection?
It's like the fourth one in like the late 90s, and it's fucking awful. And I don't recommend watching it. But this one does it. It's like if they made Alien Resurrection good, which about damn time. What's your number one, my friend?
I never used that
Well, you gotta do another one now. Do the Hawk. Yeah.
All right. Drum roll, please. Number one is DD.
The fuck is DD? What? I never even heard of that movie.
Yeah, leave it to me to mention a unheard of movie.
Bro, it's not a bad thing. It's a hidden gem.
It's made by a Taiwanese American director.
Okay.
And it's just like a coming of age story. It's like we get these movies from the 80s, from the 90s. This one was like late 90s, like kid growing up. The dad is in China making the money. And he has like a grandma there. It's like just all these moments that you remember from like the early 2000s growing up with like MySpace and AIM.
Oh, like from his perspective.
Yeah.
So it's like is it autobiographical? Is it like
Somewhat.
a true story?
Yeah, it's like it's loosely based on the director, I guess. He skates like with his friends, and then like the older guys, he wants to like get on their good side and like impress them. So he like shoots like a skate video. It sucks. He like gets humiliated. Like he's like, oh, like this camera's shaking or whatever.
But then how would you describe the visuals? Is it done like a documentary or
it's like
visually? What would you compare it to?
I don't know. Like Boyhood, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Close-ups, a lot of like facial acting. I don't know. I just like resonated with it. These moments, like very simple moments of like finding love, like wanting to flirt, but like not really.
What country
doing
was
the right moves? No, this is in America.
Okay.
In like California, I think. The mom and the grandma have kind of butting heads of like how to raise the kids.
Yeah.
And I think like the mom feels like she's like not doing a good job, but then at the end, like they, come together and realize that like, she's doing what she can.
Right.
And it's like, it's really funny too. 2000s jokes, like fucking teenage, just humor, just like fart humor, that kind of stuff. Check it out because I know it's like it's probably not on a lot of people's list, but I was like,
I bet you can find it at the library though, if it's not on streaming or something like that.
It is.
It is?
Anyways.
Nothing exists off the screen.
This is fun. Honestly, I look forward to this every year, man. Thank you for doing this again.
Thank you everybody for tuning in to our annual Top Movies 2024. Do your shout outs if you want to do any shout outs.
VRX on all social media platforms, VRX Connect, VRXConnect.com. Make sure you grab those new TiVo sweatshirts. We have great designs on our store.
Nice.
I'm not going to do a shout out because I don't know where I'll be in a year. I don't know, things change.
Listen, he's
I'm just going to
on
say,
your way
everyone,
up.
Keep doing your best, everyone.
There you go. Great words. And I think if we had to choose, I think a movie that we all is like our collective movie, I would say either Fall Guy or Dune.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Because
we all had it on our
Walled City. That
wasn't on my list, but I
feel like that is a shared kind of like that was really solid. That was
Dune, Walled City, or Fall Guy.
And
which
really
one?
knows about Walled City. Like, we're the only three who've seen that whole movie.
So
to make it easier though, so between Dune and Fall Guy though, between those two choices,
Dune wins over.
Ooh, I would say a little bit Dune, but I like Fall Guy a lot.
Dune is so much harder to pull off because they had to make all that shit. You know what I mean? It's like all fake. By the way, I love that Christopher Walken didn't change anything about himself for that role. I love that. And I think it works really well that he's from fucking Brooklyn. Yeah. He's, wow, at least
actually, that was probably not my least favorite part because, it was like clearly.
But it totally works.
Because he was the coward king.
Yeah, it fucking worked that he was just like Christopher Walken. You know what I mean? It's like,
can't wait for Dune, whatever the fuck.
Wow. He did a good job.
That's pretty good impression.
Can't wait for
Dune 3.
The spice, this flow.
Paul Atreides. Paul takes the dark side. I don't know if any of you
dark
know the
side.
Story,
I've read the books up to 5. Oh no, 4.
Did you really?
Yeah, I read.
Oh shit. Okay, so you have
because I was excited for Denis Villeneuve, whatever the fuck. How do you say his last name?
Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve. I saw Blade Runner. And I was like, dude, this dude's directing Dune. I gotta fucking read this book. And then I didn't like the book that much. Then I looked up on Wikipedia what happens because I was like, I'm never gonna finish the series. I was like, this is fucking insane. The summary of what happens. I gotta read the books now because I just need to wrap my head around this shit. And
maybe I'll be able to read them before the next one comes out, which is probably gonna be a while. So, anyways, quickly. Shout out any movies that you want to mention that you didn't. Just shout them out.
Madam Web was fucking terrible, but the Garfield movie was my least favorite of the year.
I want to shout out quick Anora. I really liked.
What was your least favorite? Garfield movie was
Conclave.
Nothing to do with Garfield.
Oh, none of us said
Garfield's
Conclave.
a lazy cat who hates Mondays.
I would have expected you to have that on your list.
Why?
Because you liked it.
So it was top 10.
There's a lot of movies. How many movies did you see if you had to ballpark it? Total.
Not that many. 40.
Okay.
50, 60, yeah. Probably same as you.
50,
I'm fucking slacking.
Oh shit, It's What's Inside. The body swap movie. I don't know if you heard of that.
Oh, In-N-Out too.
No.
In-N-Out Burgers.
Basically.
All comes full circle. The Garfield movie was the bottom. Madam Web, Hot Frosty, and Gladiator 2 are my bottom.
Gladiator 2.
Oh, and Rebel Moon 2 was also on the bottom. That was my bottom.
Rebel Moon was okay, but
fine.
it was definitely just a Netflix.
It was like so much wheat threshing, and it's like, bro, you got spaceships. What the fuck are we doing? But yeah.
I don't know how. Yeah, that was definitely a Netflix film.
All right.
Thank you. We'll see you next year.
Happy 2025. Stay alive.
Sweet. All right, guys.
Month in.
This is
month
chill.
and 8 days.